Hello, welcome. We are back, alright, for our upcoming match. As you saw there, it will be Agony versus HUJ. Just before we get into draft, I'm going to be showing you the captain's interview. So we've already seen Shiba from yesterday, and we'll be introducing Varsal, Agony's jungler and captain. Bye. Alright, and here today we have our captain's interview between Agony and the Confident Club HUJ. Hello to Varsal.
Yo yo.
Hello, and also hello Shiba. Welcome back again.
Hello.
All
Back to
right.
back.
Yep. So it's like you won the last game, but now today you have hopefully more of a challenge than yesterday's game. If not, we have
Will
we
be,
have
will be.
we have trouble.
Nah, it will be.
Some quick questions for you, Varsal. Does your team like any other sports?
Sports. Our top laner goes to the gym, I guess. Apart from him, however,
Or
there's no
maybe
one that
some
likes
other
sports,
games.
to be honest.
Okay, maybe to save some. Maybe like do you play World of Warcraft or like
Um,
Valorant or other games like this?
um, our support plays World of Warcraft. Um, Iconic currently isn't playing anything apart from League, to be honest. But our support and even our mid laner used to play World of Warcraft, but I think they stopped now, so I don't know what's going on,
And I know you
to be
like the
honest.
football games, right?
Yes, I've been playing
Ah,
some FIFA,
I see you
but
on Discord.
it's not the most fun game to play always.
Ah. I wouldn't know. Trust me, I haven't played that type of game in years. I used to like NBA
It is
2K.
fair.
It's
I don't like basketball at all,
uh,
so
it was a fun to play. Um, do you think I ask this all the time? Is your team mostly cat or dog lovers?
um, I would say three of us dogs, two of us cats,
All right.
so it's a mix.
It's kind of balanced considering it's a
Yes, it's a
five-man team.
mix.
Oh, we'll
Yeah.
we'll have it like that. And if I can ask as well, like what would you describe your team's journey up until this point?
I mean, once again, we have a different squad for another tournament, but I think if we make it work, it's I think the strongest agony team that we had in the past 2 years, if it works out.
Yeah,
But
I think
it
I would think the same.
it should work out.
Yes, of course. I mean, you have two great players in the bot lane. You're very well rounded in jungle as well, and mid and top. Your top laner plays everything, so
Yeah.
I'm
I
looking
mean,
forward to it.
our bot lane I think is by far the best
It's
bot in
very
the
flexible right now. You have a good AP carry
and
user and a good
and the
AP
whole
carry
tournament
user.
as well.
So
Yeah. That helps.
I'm looking forward. Sunday we're facing off. It's gonna be
Yes.
a fun game. Maybe finally I can get one win against you guys. I have won against the Versio. It would make me so happy.
I mean,
Um,
we're playing to go 13-0, so
Omela, of course, I know you probably are. So that's how we see. Going to Shiba. Yesterday I asked you some questions here, but I never heard how did your team begin.
Oh, that's actually quite a funny story. So, you messaged me about the tournament, if I remember it correctly, and I just asked in voice chat, "Hey, guys, you wanna play?" And boom, that's my team.
All right. um. Oh, 1 second.
Yeah,
Okay. So well,
it was
and you told me we almost had another team, right? Like if you wanted
yes,
to.
yes, yes. Because after a few days, we were talking about the tournament and everything, and we had some more players willing to join, but you know, it just us.
Yes. Well, in general, I wanted also to ask, where are you guys from? As well, it's something people want to know.
Oh, oh no, everyone is from Poland. I'm also Polish, but I live in Malta, and the rest of the team lives in Poland.
All right, then I'll ask you a direct question. How much out of 10 do you rate pastizzi? And you need to tell me which one, ricotta or the
Wait,
piece.
wait, what they rate?
The Pastizzi, you know Pastizzi for sure.
Oh, Pastizzi, yeah.
Okay.
James Pastizzi.
Yes.
Out of 10, what would you
Okay,
give them?
okay, you're gonna hate me, but I don't like it.
Oh no.
I'll
Really?
be honest. Yeah, I don't really like it.
Go
Like
back to
maybe
your country. That's it, if you don't
I'm not
like it.
Maltese enough, you know. I'm not Maltese enough.
Do you like Kenny at least?
Okay, no, I
Oh
hate
no,
it. Like
oh my
how?
god.
No, okay, no. But how can you drink it? It's like iced tea but sparkling. Like what?
Brother, what in the pierogi are you talking about?
Okay, but pierogis are a bomb. Okay, we can agree. Pierogis are like the best.
You need to cook me some one day, Mela. I need to taste it.
Well,
I don't want to keep you too long as the stream is starting soon as well, but thank you for joining me for the interview. And I look forward to casting your game soon.
Thanks.
I'm looking forward to play the game.
Oh, Mela,
Yeah, me too,
handshake.
Yeah, handshake.
There we go. Sportsmanship in the LCM. Alright, have a good night, alright? Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Alright, and on that positive note, we're getting right into the draft. It was a really nice interview between the captains. Here, Agony has blue side, and they went for the first three bans here: Caitlyn, Fizz, and Vladimir. Definitely targeted bans towards towards Confident Club, ADM mid laner. Meanwhile, respectively, Confident Club here banning out Rel, Sylas, and Orianna. Great all-around champions to not have in your game. Agony going ahead with Corki first pick, Confident Club following with Akali and Tam Kench, perhaps locking down something to play into the Corki. Akali usually does okay into ranged champions, while Tam Kench, he's a solid champion for support. Potentially even taking it away from Agony was the option here. We also see the Xin Zhao and Gragas being picked then from Agony. Strong for the bans. Oh, is it? I see. So Confident Club banned Ashe, Hui, and Orianna. Ah, the picks. Alright, okay. My apologies. I'm not. I was not that familiar with the draft link. Yeah, I'll get better at that. So I guess Confident Club here picked up Skarner and Aurora. So taking that away from Agony have good players that enjoy Aurora. I'm not sure if it's still a great pick after the changes she received, but Skarner definitely up there. So Confident Club responding with taking away two strong champions. Agony though picking up two great champions of their own, Xin and Gragas, have great potential to get in and out of fights, do combos. The magic damage from top and AD damage from jungle is also something they can play around in those top skirmishes. Meanwhile, Confident Club, their last pick here is Xayah. Xayah is perhaps their way to respond to the Corki ADC here, or just maybe a comfort pick overall. So far, Agony's team has a bit of mixture between disengage and maybe not. They can go in, but most of their comp tends to want to poke you from range and maybe play the fights a bit slower. So Xayah here pretty much wants the same thing. So maybe it's more of a comfort pick rather than an answer to Agony's comp. The upcoming bans here, we had Agony here banning out Rakan and Kassadin. Of course, Rakan, he's a great support overall. He can do many things and initiate your fights. Kassadin is one of Confident Club's other mid laners. We see him, he likes to play these either late game champs like Kassadin Vlad, and Fizz is one of his favorites too. Meanwhile, Confident Club, their last two bans here, I hope I'm saying the bans in order, at least this way, and Ashe. Yeah, I think Living Dream, he plays a good way, and Ashe overall, maybe they think that Corki could go with it. So overall, you're removing a strong champion, which in Ashe is one of the most contested ones at the moment, right? Agony taken Zillion, Confident Club taken Tam Kench, right? Yeah. So right after that, so Tam Xayah, very defensive bot lane, a lot of disengage, and Agony taken Zillion and Ahri, they taken Zillion alone, because that would be an order. So Zillion here with Xin Zhao, he's gonna give him that ultimate and speed him up. It even enhances their engage a bit. So I like that they found something that they were slightly missing in this case. While Confident Club blocking the Akali. Akali also can get help with Skarner and to maybe lock down one target. I assume Akali is their way to answer for Gragas in top lane. So I'm looking forward to see how that plays out. Last pick from Agony, Ahri, great overall champion, strong in getting those picks and starting off their fights perhaps, since they don't have that much engage, but Ahri can also disengage. Definitely a comfort pick for mechanics. So with that said, let's get into the game and see how the end result looks like. Alright. So, let's see it. Agony versus HUJ. This should be quite the match. We saw HUJ perform very well against TMO yesterday. Let's see if the same is gonna be happening today. So it is Aurora top lane actually. Alright. Skarner starting off with his potion. Perhaps looking careful to always be healthy. Scared of perhaps an invade in this case. See a full coverage here from Team Agony. A ward being placed around the Raptor camps, just in case for a potential invade. While Varsal mechanics here look to go in. Sloppy not really paying attention. Get some damage on him. Nothing much happens though, no wards placed. We do know that Skarner is starting in the red side here. As for Agony, they seem to still be in a position to look to go deeper. But the choice here to start on the blue buff is the decision. Mechanics dropping down the ward. It does show HUJ that the Raptor camp is warded, but it secures knowing where they start. Meanwhile, the return ward here from HUJ also gets pinged out by Agony. So vision all across the board from both teams, respecting their entrances and immediately starting with some damage here on the bot lane. Iconic and Living playing into this Tom Zaya. Tom Kench is quite strong alone as a champion. He can really do a lot in terms of just sheer damage and tankiness. Doesn't really need much items to do that much. Slice Cakes taking a small chunk there from the Ahri Electrocute. We do see Living walking up, placing a bomb here on Zaya, taking 2 auto attacks as well on top. Zaya slowly coming down below half health already in this lane. It's not really ideal, as we see Badman 420 bullying out Gruntless here in the top lane. Meanwhile, Mechanics with his level 2 gets a trade off against this Akali. Looking forward to see how these junglers help their laners out. Skarner is still battling his red buff, while Varsal is choosing to skip his raptors and golems, going straight for his red buff. So we could potentially see an invade here from Agony, as they have bot lane priority, and we see Xin Zhao skipping his raptor camp, potentially wanting that red buff to be stronger on the invade. While also mid lane priority is in favor of Agony. I hope HUJ are looking out for this. This could be potentially a moment where we could see some action, as Varsal is walking into HUJ territory. The ward gets placed. Sloppy is aware as the engage on Skarner happens right away. Zillion dropping those bombs, and the retaliation from HUJ. Living get caught up in the root, and Varsal re-engages on Zion. We see Latina Carlos taking some damage, and it does get finished off with the Zillion bombs. First blood for Agony. A great initiation there to going for the invade. Of course, they have priority across the board. HUJ did not factor that in, or they did react a bit late for it. Definitely something to look into in their upcoming matches. Let's see, Slice Cakes here looking for something, but finds a spear. He will juke out Varsal though, not really easy to see where the Akali ends up in that position, but it does cause Varsal to return back to his Raptor camp. Meanwhile, Sloppy is back on the map with a Ruby Crystal, back to clearing his jungle. So in theory, this Karner does have a little bit more juice perhaps than Varsal being a level up in this case, which will soon be mitigated by Scuttle. Seeing Mechanics pretty much the whole laning phase in control. As I say that, he almost gets engaged on a nice sidestep on the Akali E, which would have surely meant potential death there. Well played from both sides, but nice dodge from Mechanics. Considering he's had the lane pushed up so much and has gotten that priority for his team while also managing to survive with a slightly higher CS lead, playing this mid lane very well. Meanwhile, we can say the same for HUJ's top lane here. Badman 420 consistently pushing in the lane here into this Gragas. He does manage to get the ward down just in case Xin Zhao chooses to gank him from this angle. Meanwhile though, bot lane, we do see a bit of difference in items here, as Iconic has more gold to play with, the Caulfield Hammer coming through while Xayah sitting on the double longsword. The Tom Kench definitely something they could use in those trades, but the Zillion bombs, at least early, have been quite the trouble for them. You do see Agony setting up for the scrubs in the meanwhile, as Living did come all the way to help Varsal. Grantless is engaging here with Badman, as Badman forced to ult and dash away. Grantless will be happy to take that trade as his team is securing grubs at the moment. It does mean Iconic is left alone here in the bot lane. As Pink's coming through, we have to see here if HUJ look for the dive perhaps, as Karner is also on the way. Iconic gets full engaged on here as Sloppy drops the rock. Latina Carlos does go down in a 1-for-2. Living Dream there though to retaliate with teleport, since I did not see that coming. For anyone that didn't notice, that was teleport from Zillion, because he went for Unleash Spellbook. Okay, very interesting, and a nice way to hold down this bot lane turret, not get more from the 1-for-1. Xayah though trying her best to get a kill out of that situation, not really landing much, as Living now sitting on comfortably with some kills. Speeds up Iconic to come back to lane and continue his farming. Yeah, so not really something you see often, supports, you know, running teleport, but that's what we just saw here. To be fair, Iconic had it under control, it was a 1-for-1, but thanks to Living showing up, the Xayah doesn't get free plates and even more gold from the plate. But saying that, he's left on the map a bit too long, allowing Latina Carlos to return the favor from before. So see some supports there fighting it off, the old man versus the tongue frog. And in the meanwhile, not much happening here in top lane. It's pretty much just a poke fest between both sides. Gragas healing it up slowly, while Badman 420 always having the range advantage in this situation. We do see a nice gank there from Sloppy. It didn't turn into much after, but I'd like to see more of this Karner in his ganks. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Akali matchup into the Ahri isn't really working out for HUJ. It has to be a comfort pick, I would have to assume, but let's see how these next fights play out. Akali does have a lot of range, so it does help against a dashing Ahri. We do see Agony hovering this dragon, as 4 of their team was pretty much looking as bot lane, but the call to reset and go back to our priorities does come through. Nothing much happens after. So back to farming. HUJ though are getting pinged by Agony as they are approaching this dragon potentially. They do back off. The vision plant here by Varsal pretty much confirms the dragon is not being touched, and the ward gets uncovered here, allowing less safety for HUJ's bot lane. Meanwhile, For the first time in this game, we see Akali managing to get the push in into this Ahri. Around level 6, Akali's combo is very strong and definitely something to look out for. Do see Living chucking a bomb on Dragon once again, making sure that it is not started, as Latina Carlos did go missing for a few moments there. This game is looking fairly balanced. The CS lead in the mid lane is a bit troubling at the moment, about 10 to 15 CS more. And in top lane it's a similar situation here, as Badman forced to ult, but Gruntless lands his ult perfectly right after, and Varsal there to respond. They do trade Badman for 24, a dragon there as the response from Sloppy. In the meanwhile, Slicecake getting fully engaged on by Living and Mechanics. Mechanics forced to ult to dodge Sloppy's engage. Meanwhile, Athena Carlos is also here. And Varsal quickly coming to respond. The Skarner rock throw slows him down, disengaging the fight, and everyone returns back to their priorities. I would imagine Agony here want to try to set up for these grubs, as it is something that will give them an advantage this game. They already have 3, and 6 grubs is very strong overall. Helps you take down these tower plates, especially getting them early on. So TP there by Gruntless, helping them further secure this critical objective, as 3 members of Agony are there to respond. Iconic freely pushing on this tower despite not having any support in the meantime, as HUJ are caught off on a recall timer in this period. So we do see Void Grubs going down. Meanwhile, missing pings coming out from Mechanics. We do not know where Slicecakes is. Potentially could have been looking at Iconic. Latina Carlos and Unknown Memory return to the lane. Curious to see how these next couple of fights go so far. Agony comfortable with a 2k gold lead. Slicecakes not finding the connect on these dagger throws, but the ult coming through, and will it be enough? The energy is not held. Oh my gosh, that's so tragic. Slicecakes management of the passive there, running out of energy at the right time. It was looking so good, but the Q outplayed him, and the level up timer from Mechanics comes in the clutch, gaining a health boost. Meanwhile, here in the bot lane, Varsal is looking, clearing some wards as he walks by. See some bombs sent by the old man, played by Living. Currently sitting on flash heal. I'm curious to see if we ever see him with like Ghost or Cleanse, or God forbid, is Clarity even a summoner spell? Or is that ARAM exclusive? Alright, Varsal is still looking here. They know it's not warded yet, just hovering in case the engage happens, but other than that, not much coming out of it. Sloppy is also around, but Agony do not know that, and Varsal just recalled. A bit of unlucky timer here for Agony, but Sloppy not managing to find the connect there with the E Iconic dashing out. While Slicecakes here back to mid lane tower protection mode. The CS gap in mid is ever increasing here. Already 30 CS up here for Mechanics. Meanwhile, both junglers are sitting at about the same, and we see something similar in the top lane. 14 CS lead for the Gruntless. Alright, Mechanics here almost gets caught out, forced to ult. Sloppy throws that rock. Slicecakes and his E's this game are not connecting. That's a bit troublesome for them. But the damage here on Mechanics coming through. Slicecakes forced off the play. He's getting a bit too low from this exchange, as Latina Carlos is also here to say hello on his Tom Kench. Oh man, Slicecakes, let's not let you become a meme with your Akali. Practice those dagger throws. As Gruntless fully engages here on Badman, landing the ult, but the Aurora ultimate dashing away. Sloppy gets found by Varsal as he gets pushed into the wall. Fully engaging on top of Sloppy here. Mechanics also joins the fray, as the Living Dream was also there to help. Gruntless rotating now slowly Slice Cakes almost finds the kill, but forgets the Zillion has pretty much the save of the century there. Well played there by Agony. Great teamwork across the board, formulating the plan together. Iconic now in a dangerous position. He doesn't have W anymore, forced to back off. But HUJ have no wave to look and make this into a more threatening decision for him. As I say that, Living on the way back bot lane. So far, this unsealed spellbook has only been used for teleport. It was a very flashy play, I must say. Curious to see if we get to see more uses out of this Sunlight spell at this time. Zillion, not really one of these champions. He's kind of like Bard in the sense you don't really care what you have on him. You just want levels, and you speed people up and you revive a person, and sometimes you stun as well. So I like the idea here behind spellbook. If you can get some more utility. Meanwhile, HUJ were sneaking this Dragon and Scuttle combo. Skarner lands the Smite on Varsal as the engage on Unknown takes them back with Zaya Feathers all across the board. A great ultimate by Sloppy gets thrown out. Tom Kench tries to eat him, but the damage and return response here from Xin Zhao, Gragas and Corki is just simply too much. These champions have so much damage in the kit. The Heartsteel Skarner melts like a lobster on butter. It's what we like to see here. A nice good fight here from Agony. The objective though in the end does get smited away by HUJ. A nice smite there by Sloppy. Slowly but surely though, the gold lead is in a different state here. We do see a 6.4k gold lead on the side of Agony, and it slowly is getting bigger and bigger. Corki now probably sitting on his second item on this base. In fact, there it is. It is going to be that Infinity Edge complete, meaning Unknown Memory is quite behind. Despite the CS lead, those 4 kills make all the difference in this case. In the mid lane, we kept seeing a rise in CS here as Mechanics on Ari has 140 CS and about 120 here on Slice Cakes. Meanwhile in top lane, Gruntless also leading the CS charge here with 15 more CS than his opponent Badman. It was looking really good for Badman earlier on, but slowly the advantage did move away. Mechanics ults away. Sloppy has been critical at finding Mechanics and getting him to use his ult before a key fight. Varsal just hovering around in case he is needed. Goes straight back into his jungle. And meanwhile here, all of HUJ are hovering around this bot side. Even Batman is looking to secure this top lane turret and keep it alive, as Iconic is sent on tower pushing duty, while Varsal and Living are hovering. We can see even Mechanics going all the way up. Iconic getting ulted by Living Dream. Badman does not finish that off, but he is getting zoned out by the Agony team. And in the meanwhile here, Unknown Memory engages on Gruntless. He is getting low, but Gruntless can simply heal that all up, as HUJ trying to find an aggressive play, while Agony are fighting in the top side. And Gruntless here is getting looked at by Sloppy. Mechanics is also there to respond. The charm landed on Sloppy. Varsal not having a chance to land his W. Iconic caught off guard in the meanwhile in the midst of chaos as Agony is rotating mid. Iconic was not on the same page, while Latina Carlos did manage to swallow Sloppy, ulting him away from danger. And now Sloppy finds Mechanics, but the charm landing stopping that Skarner charge, and Living is also there to support, and Mechanics disengaging this fight. Alright, I'm getting a shout out here to check mid 17:30. I don't want to turn this into something like that. I can't show the timer because, you know, it will spoil a bit, but maybe analysts can have a look at that. We can check it out later. meanwhile here, Unknown Memory holding the wave. Both teams pretty much gonna be setting up for this Baron. As we see a big engage here by Varsal on Latina Carlos, getting caught out yet again. Iconic and Living there to respond. Living, Unknown Memory, throwing down his feathers, trying his best to peel off as Iconic and Varsal caught by an ult in Sloppy, and Unknown Memory wipes the board with so many feathers being laid out. The fight took so long. Gruntless now being engaged on by Slice Cakes, ults away. Meanwhile, Mechanics on the side here trying to salvage the moment, trying to get some damage on Sloppy, forcing them off this objective. It's definitely looking like not the easiest game for sure, as Slice Cakes does get caught out in the meanwhile. So Agony do have some retaliation on display. Sloppy not being able to secure the objective, he's gonna try and poke them out as Gruntless and Mechanics can potentially kite this one out. Sloppy is waiting for Latina Carlos to return, and together they are safe. Alright, so in the meanwhile here, Dragon is being set up, Agony on the return after that play. Let's see if perhaps we can see another play from Unknown Memory, pretty much carrying this last fight alongside with Sloppy. Being so tanky, it allowed the Xayah to land down so many feathers. And in the meanwhile here, Latina Carlos on the side does get caught out a bit. We do see a big play here. The entire Agony team is here. Sloppy and Latina taking so long considering he's a support, but in the meanwhile does allow for enough time for Agony to collect their initiation. Sloppy ults them away, tries to flash the wall, but it is not enough. The stickiness of the Agony once they're on you, the speed ups from Zillion, the stuns, the Xin Zhao dashing and knocking you up, and all the slows, not to mention Gragas as well. It is gonna be Baron up next here for Agony, and a safe one at that after such a play. Both jungle and support are down. They would need to face check this with their ADC mid or top lane, and all would rather not. Unknown Memory here finds Mechanics. Mechanics failing the charm, dashes back out. Unknown Memory still hitting. Mechanics now out of dashes and no charm. It does force Unknown Memory to flash out. Living, flashing to finding the stun, and it does shut down. Unknown Memory, a quick return there by Living, saving his teammate. What a hero. Mechanics, I'm pretty sure, is telling him thank you very much. I don't want to show myself on stream doing that. So Living showing us the Agony teamwork they are known for. A very long time group Agony have played together for quite some time. They definitely know how to play to each other's strengths and weaknesses, so I'm sure Living was already on the way before Mechanics was even caught out. In the meanwhile here, we do see Agony trying to find ways to pressure this mid lane turret, and it will be indeed the tower gone. Alright, so we see Gruntless actually here getting caught out for the first time this game. The Zillion ult being so critical in these fights, reviving teammates caught out of position, but Gruntless does get engaged on by Badman 420. Mechanics on the side taking down Slice Cakes. Skarner now engaging back on Farsal with Unknown Memory behind them. This is the combo that won them the fight before. Sloppy being so tanky, Xayah has all the time in the world to drop feathers, but that REQ Mechanics, the damage is too much for them to proceed. In the meanwhile, while all this was happening, Iconic happily pushing the bot lane with his Baron buff. It seems like the fights are not too bad for HUJ, but we're always noticing they're outnumbered or they're always getting the push. It's a bit hard at the moment to play if you're HUJ. We see Unknown Memory now getting taken down by Gruntless. That's going to be so critical for this game. Unknown Memory, he's so strong on the side of HUJ. Him being out means they can have a hard time fighting if they choose to. here. Nothing much is gonna happen for the next few minutes. Well, not minutes, but until this reset finishes, basically. We're gonna see the entire Agony team rotating around this top lane. The last turret to fall. Frost tier 2. And Mechanics here finding slice cakes. It seems like it's been this way the entire game. The Akali pick was not it into the Ari. Mechanics playing that really well to finish it off. Alright, so it's all out war here. Agony really want this top lane turret. They sending all the members to help out. And that's a triple kill for Iconic. What a way to finish the game. As they will be looking towards this mid lane. Only Sloppy is left to try his best at peeling them off his Nexus. But although being tanky, it is definitely not enough. Considering he has 2 items that took quite a long time. In the meanwhile here, Gruntless and the rest of his team are on the charge towards HUJ's Fountain, as the rest of Iconic and Varsal are finishing off their Nexus. Getting slowly zoned out here. HUJ put up a mean fight, but Agony in the end, their organized plays did turn the game into what we see in front of us. Well played to both sides, and well played to Agony for the win. Come back to me. I am... Oops. Hello. Okay, so... I hope you enjoyed the game. It was action-packed, a very calculated, slow and steady pace, like Agony like to do it. A great invade from level 3. We will be showing a bit of the highlights for the game. While that is going on, people in the chat, please vote for your MVP. Who are we going to interview in this upcoming interview right after the analysis desk? Let's quickly give them a call. Alright. Let's see. Hello?
Hey, Jansen.
Hello, can you share screen?
Sure thing I can. You'll have to pardon me for a second though. Because I was in the middle of watching through that replay. This was a very interesting game actually. So am I on air?
No, you need a break or it's
Yes, I need just a minute. I only got to around 9 minutes actually with catching up. I was running this thing on 4 times speed. I felt like I was about to go cyber psycho from this.
Alright. Let me give you some
Right,
time.
so
Let me know.
I think we could talk through this together actually if we like go along the plays together. So first blood, very simple stuff in bot lane. Very nice tower dive. Overestimated from one team, from team red to team blue.
One
Blue
moment,
got
because
the-
I need to swap to you, okay?
Yes, of course.
Alright, so let's do it. Oh. Alright, so we are here once again with Thomas, who will
Hello,
take
guys.
us through the game as we've just seen. Any play you would like this to start us off with?
Well, just like last game, I'd like to start off with the early game, just giving a quick overview. The beginning of the game goes very simple. These 2 teams are very good at the game. I would like to say that, at the very least. They do a very simple display, set it up, and we'll be moving on to the first blood in just a second. I'd just like to bring some attention to what happens here near the red buff, where Team Agony actually moves in with a 3-man invade to gain human ward privileges over the red buff jungle, seeing Skarner as he usually starts with the red, and forcing him out into a bad trade. Obviously establishing which side he's going to start from and knowing his clear route from there on onwards. Now, with a lot of high tier plays coming up soon, we're not going to dilly-dally on the early game for too long. We're going to hop straight to the first blood, which happens at 3 minutes 30. We'll hop to 3 minutes and have a look at this. So, Versal begins the invade on Skarner, like I mentioned previously, knowing his clear route, moves forward, and with the help of Living, grabs a very nice stun, after which they move on to what would seem like an unfavorable engage. Xayah getting a stun off on Living. This would surely be signaling that they could possibly grab a kill, a 1-for-1 here. However, no, Living backs off, and Varsal has just enough power to force them off. Varsal grabbing a first blood and gaining that gold bonus for the early game. Now, let's skip right ahead, because as I said, with a high tier game like this, action is very sparse until it gets to the very end. Right ahead, over here, we have our top lane. They're not the stars of this show, but I just wanted to bring it to attention that Gragas is a very good matchup into a poke champion like Aurora, considering he has the Happy Hour passive, which heals him health whenever he casts abilities, making him a very enduring champion. Right, to the next play. I'll slow it down for a second. I believe, yes, this is the bot lane tower dive that we saw at minute 6, where Tom Kench looks like he's about to auto attack Corki. However, is instead baited out with Skarner, who grabs the kill and trades Tom Kench for Corki. Living TPing in with the absolute mind control of a play. Now let's get an instant replay on that. Pardon me. So Living walks down, right? Speed boost, and prepare for the mind control. Just a quarter of a lane away begins the teleportation sequence. An absolutely unprecedented play and one of truly the highest tiers. Right, with this play happening, a Living does manage to grab a kill on Zaya on the way out, meaning that this ended up being worth it for blue team in the end. However, he is then claimed in a trade back by Tom Kench. After that, Drake. We've got a very simple Drake take. Blue team not contesting and instead focusing on the mid lane plays here. Getting some very nice teamwork from Mechanics and Living. I really saw their teamwork coming in together, the two champions working perfectly in tandem with each other and getting some really nice plays off. We then move forward just ever so slightly after these plays. Right here to Varsal pulling off a very nice play in the jungle. Now, I was very impressed by this because, as you can see, Corki is alone in the bot lane, and Zillion is out roaming for some team play, with 4 people in the top lane invading for what seems to be just a Krugs. Yes, that's right. With Skarner, who already has red buff, it's already been taken. So, what's this? They go, and Akali is about to get a kill on Ari, just within a matter of seconds. That's right, just Q auto attack and ult happening within just a quarter of a second. Living manages to react on time and saves Mechanics from what could have been a really bad shutdown. Resurrecting him and bringing him right back into the play, keeping up the tempo, and not giving the enemy team any gold. Right, we'll keep it going here with, what looks to be a triple kill from Iconic. Let's look right ahead here. TP coming in from Slice Cakes. Free Rift Herald for Varsal, not being contested by Aurora. We move just forward at the very slightest to what looks to be a contested Drake. Unknown Memory and Ladina Carlos start off the Drake on their own, with Skarner coming in to join them just a second later. They are, however, spotted from the get-go and are engaged on immediately. Smite comes in, Sloppy gets the Drake, and Agony gets the cleanup. That's right. Yep. That's Corki with some kills. Mechanics zoning off 2 champions on his own, forcing them to not join the fight, secures his team the perfect team fight. Now, we were told that somewhere at 17 minutes, there was an amazing play that the fans wanted to see. Let us skip forward just to 10 seconds before that and have a look. Janssen, could you please tell us which champion we'd be watching for this play?
I have no idea. I was asked by the stream. So 17:30 they said.
I see.
I think it's
if
Skarner
it was my
and,
guess, I believe it has to do with Mechanics. So if I may, I will just restructure the champions, because thank you, right client, you're not putting the champions in the right places. There we go. Let's have a look at Mechanics, shall we? 17:30. Ooh.
All right.
I think we saw that. I think we need an instant replay on those moves. So then, I'll put it on half speed. Actually, no, 10 seconds and half speed is a bit tedious. Right. Unknown Memory walks up. He gets flanked. by Gragas, preparing to throw abilities. He throws Q. The ult comes out just a little bit early. This signals the RE charm. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The auto camera is not cooperating with us on this one. Pardon me. Oh. Right. So, the ultimate comes out just a bit early. However, dodges the Gragas E. The minion is a paid actor and
he's
takes
scripting.
the RE charm. Gragas ult is sidestepped by walking forward, and that is a 3-way dodge from certain death by Zaya. A most impressive play. I can see why the fans were asking for this one to be replayed for us.
No memory. If there was an MVP for HUJ, I would give it to him this game for sure.
Most
played
definitely,
really
that
well.
was a very nice play. Speaking of MVPs, I really think that Mechanics and Living were doing quite a good job this game.
Yes, once we wrap
With
this
that-
up, we have to interview Living as well in this case. He was voted the
I
MVP,
see.
which is very well deserved, as you showed.
That I
one
would
of his
agree
plays.
with, most definitely. The Zillion pick is very unusual to see. Hardly anyone plays the champion, and this champion being picked really turned this game around with some very nice control stuns and that revive from earlier. Now let's have a look at what happens further on in the game. We're seeing a few kills coming in from Unknown Memory, truly showing that he is indeed a very prominent player in the red team. However, as we can see further on along the line, that's a lot more action happening from Agony, getting that Dragon, Baron, Tower, Inhib
Yeah,
Nexus.
it was pretty much
Yes.
like just fast forward from here. It's like just Baron and into the next few plays. The game finishes pretty much in a streamlined fashion. They were up gold all game long, and Agony are well known for their team play and how they try to finish off the game here. They will take a recall into top lane, and after winning a fight, push down mid.
I see. So I'll just skip ahead right for a minute here. That is Mechanics going for the split push, grabbing a wave, most probably. Some really nice skirmishing going on in the jungle, establishing that, yes, indeed, Agony do know what they're doing. They are going to grab kills as it is favorable to them and not waste any extra time. They're going to move on to grab the Baron objective. And like you said, in a streamlined fashion, keep marching down the mid lane. With some more very interesting skirmishes happening along the way. I believe you all saw them. I'm unsure if there's any specific highlights that need to be reviewed further. Let's just have a look at how the game ends from here on out. Oh, yes, I see. You can't escape the bomba. Gragas manages to get Zaya after all those plays in mid lane. After all, Agony pushes back, and I believe that's one more reset before a final push, with Iconic getting a triple kill right before the game is over. Right. Again, fantastic plays from Agony.
Nice and easy.
Even
Quick tower dive. All 5 members. Sloppy.
I see.
Trying to defend his base. A nice alto as always. Slice cakes.
However,
You hit an E there. Nice. You need to practice those, my friend. Oh, bye.
And that's the game done for. Agony W your random team L. Ooh, we got some flaming from Living. I think you'll have to interview him about that.
Okay. We'll ask him what was that about. Okay. Thank you for the analytics. As I put you in a bit of a quick position to do it, but I appreciate you still coming out on top to do it. And we'll be seeing more of Thomas. The stream now, like he will be co-casting most likely, very shortly soon. So I hope you enjoy his analytical feedback as well.
Thank you very much.
So see you.
Thanks, Hudson. See you.
All right, hello. It's me again. We'll get our Living Dream in the interview, and we can ask him a couple of questions, as has been voted. Let's see. He's awake yet? Hello.
Hello?
Alright, قعدنا في Danish سوا هنقلبك. I mean, yeah. Stream, please welcome Living Dream. Living Dream, stream.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Alright, we saw a really nice game played from you, as even Thomas pointed out. Your ults were really on point, saved a lot of your team's life, especially Mechanics. I hope he buys you a beer next time you're out. Do you have any maybe advice you would share with HUJ?
I mean, they played well. I think taking more consideration for the comp itself would help. They had two different comps. They had a keepback comp and somewhat of an engage comp, so it was easy to disrupt the whole team fight. But other than that, they played really well. I was kind of toxic at the end, but it was because of misunderstanding.
What was that about? Now that you bring it up.
So basically, I thought that they were BMing us earlier today because of the BKMs.
Ah no, they have
Yeah,
to
because I
support their
didn't know.
team.
I didn't know that the BKMs existed though.
Okay.
So
So-
I saw Barsal message me with just the message, and I was like, oh, of course. I hate BMing, to be honest. I really do.
Good.
But
Reformed.
yeah, of course.
So now you're gonna do the pick'ems as well? Get a free
No,
skin?
no, I never do. I never do pickings. I'm too indecisive.
Ah, fair enough. Well, I mean,
But,
a lot of people voted for you too this game.
I mean, I hope so. I played I played as best as I could.
What was
No,
the...
but everybody.
I'm curious, is it common to take Unsealed Spellbook for the Zillion support, or was that something
I mean,
for today?
just spellbook is just a good summoner rune. It all depends on the whole fundamentals of the person rather than the champion you're playing. If you know that you can make use of it, like for at least 4 summoner spells, then you can go spellbook. If you actually have a good understanding of the game and the champions you're against. So I was like, what should I do? Should I go airy? I was like, I'd rather go spellbook just for the map.
I think
Because I wasn't playing bot.
I think Zillion is like kind of like Bard in how you played it today.
I mean, that's the problem. Really, Bart actually has some runes which are good for him, like Electrocute, Fleet Footwork. However, Zillion doesn't really have a niche that he can fill at the moment. So
Zillion is kind of
might-
a mystery, right? Right now.
Yeah, I mean, hoping for a rework sometime, considering, it's been so long ever since we saw Zillion from Bjergsen, I think. Like Zillion mid, but other than that.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, I
if,
mean,
I don't know if you know that time flies like an arrow and fruit flies like
fruit
banana.
flies. I hear that line so many times. Because I always spam it with my EDC, of course. My EDC really hates Zillion, so I need to spam it to make sure he listens to it.
And who made the best calls in game?
To be honest, all the calls were really good. Mostly Varsal makes the calls. I was just helping with the macro. It's more so like a team effort. There's not really like one person that sticks out. Everybody has their role. Everybody does their job. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest. Quite enjoyable for games.
Yeah, I in general, you guys always look like you're on the same page in most of your plays. I mean, you recall together and you play together, so it's something that other teams should look at as inspiration, in my opinion, even when they play against you. Definitely something I learned facing you, that like there is a lot of room to make quicker decisions and more team oriented plays, perhaps. So that always nice.
I
to
would
see.
say, yeah, and it's always good to study the game. I think many people forget that there's a lot of things that you can learn by not playing. Just understanding the whole game, understanding the win conditions. Like the League of Legends is, I know a lot of people like playing the game, but I prefer the analytical side to it. So it's
Maybe
there's
we
a lot
can
to
have
learn
you
and a lot to
as an
do.
analyst in one of these games.
Oh no, I prefer the coding and just analytical work rather than like present it.
Oh my god, man! You see the game like the Neo in the Matrix. You see numbers
Eh,
instead
It
of
is my job
pixels.
as well. Like analysis is my job, so it's like second
Okay.
nature at this point.
So that gives you advantages in league as well. You are interpreting things we cannot see, huh?
But then my teammates tell me I have no hand, so it all evens out.
Okay. They sell those on Amazon, I think. See if you
Hmm?
can find.
Oh, yeah, I need to buy one. I need to buy one for sure.
Yes. I use the 20 euro one from AliExpress. They're okay. They're not bad.
Hmm.
Uh,
No,
um,
I'll probably steal it from my ADC then.
yeah, in this case, so we'll see how you play when it's your turn to be in bot lane, no, as a not support.
Who knows?
Would you have picked
There are
any other
some.
champion instead of Zillion here?
I mean, there are. Of course, I won't say which champions I would play, but there are other champions that I
Okay.
would have played. It's just I think not many people. I have a certain champion pool that not many people know how to play against in general. So I just.
We'll see across the tournament or whatever comes along
Mhm.
the way. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Living, thank you for joining us for the interview. I hope through this more people get more familiar with the community, and and for anyone that want any analytical questions answered, find him on Discord as Ovo. You see him there, okay? So yes,
Thank you.
there you go.
Thank you very much for the interview,
Oh,
and thank you
good.
for the whole tournament.
You're welcome. It's been fun, but it will be more fun towards the end when we look back and see all the games played and everything. That's what's keeping me motivated.
Of course, looking forward to being against you as well.
Oh,
I'm sure we'll have a laugh.
Sunday. Let's go. I'm gonna go
Mela.
Zillion jungle, okay, with Unsealed Spellbook because
Mm.
that's what you told me.
We'll
It's
have
your
Timo
fault.
jungle if you want as well.
Oh no,
Uh-huh.
time is wasted. لا. أيوة. Alright, Mela, good night and good job, of course.
Thank you.
And good luck for your next games.
Same to you, thank you.
ما كيفها البو. It's time to say good night. Dear stream, I hope you enjoyed today's session.